Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me again here on a virtual visit episode of the Traveling in Ireland broadcast. Today, I am chatting with Ben Bennett, owner of Ben's Surf School. I think I've gotten that right. Did I mess up the name of
It's
the
been
company?
Surf Clinic, but that's
Surf
okay.
Clinic. Oh,
Yeah,
it's that one word. I always get the one word wrong. Ben is located in Lahinch, County Clare, on one of the most beautiful surf beaches you're going to find in Ireland. And the surf clinic is it's right there on the promenade and such a great place to learn to surf. So, Ben, thank you so much for joining me today.
no worries. Thanks for having us. Great to see you again and chat to you again. Slightly different circumstances, obviously, this time, but
Very different, yes.
nice to hear. Yeah,
So you are located right there on the promenade in Lahinch. You look out the front door and the wide ocean is just right there rolling up almost at your footsteps. But I imagine today it looks a bit different than it would on a normal late April day.
definitely. Particularly for a Saturday, I wouldn't be sitting here talking. To be honest, we'd be pretty busy. Yeah, it's very strange at the moment. We're fully closed um, for obvious reasons. And the beach has been shut down and the car park as well, which would normally be a very busy tourist area.
Mhm.
So there are a few people around. We have a 2 kilometer, the restrictions here are slightly different than the States. So you're allowed within 2 kilometers to get exercise. So anybody who lives locally is taking advantage of the beach and the empty car park for skating, cycling, and obviously people are getting in the water as well. So there isn't restrictions on surfers getting in the water like there are in other countries. But I suppose the restrictions are that you shouldn't have to travel to get there.
Gotcha.
So a lot
So,
of the local guys are having a good time.
oh, I bet because if they live within 2 kilometers of the beach, they can go out and surf.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been really lucky in one sense. The surf has been, and the weather has been amazing for the last like 10 days, 14 days. So a lot of us are going around with very sore shoulders. Getting in, personally, I've been getting in twice a day, getting about 5 hours surfing, which is unusual for me at this time of year.
Right.
My kids are loving it too. My kids are in every day and getting lots of water time with quiet water, which is amazing, really, in one
That
sense. So it's a positive you got to take out of it.
I bet because yeah, this time of year you would be running your clinics or you would be making sure that everything is running well in the office so that your teachers are running the clinics and yeah, you wouldn't have your own time to surf, I suppose.
No, no, definitely not. We would normally have on a regular Saturday between surfing, we might have over the day, we might have 30 or 40 people surfing plus renters because we rent quite a lot of equipment, especially higher end equipment. But we also have our kayaking, our supping, our indoor climbing. So on a day like today with this weather, we would literally be out the door with all our equipment and we'd have maybe 10 or 14 instructors working. But it's just little lonely me, unfortunately. Yeah.
So why don't you tell people because you did start off as a surf clinic
Hmm.
and you're located, so Lahinch, for those who don't know, is in the southern westerly part of County Clare, which is a really great area for all the activities that you do offer during a typical year. So if you want to go into a little bit more about the things that you offer and who it's available for, because you don't have to know about bouldering or you don't have to know about kayaking to come and enjoy what you offer.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, we're in Clare. We're quite close to the Cliffs of Moher and to the Burren, which people may have heard of. And then we have some beautiful beaches. So the beach in Lahinch is about 3 kilometers long. It's a golden sanded beach, very flat. It's brilliant for beginners because the waves come in quite gently. So we get all the Atlantic waves. So we've pretty much consistent waves all year round. But they're very good beginner waves because they're kind of soft and rolling. So you have a lot of time to think about what you're doing and get up and to make mistakes and try things out. But right beside that, within just 100 meters, we have 3 reef breaks as well. So for your intermediate and advanced surfer, there's some really great waves right here as well. So for example, I've been surfing on the beach with my children, but heading over to the reefs in the afternoons and surfing maybe 2 foot on the beach with the kids, and then over onto the reef and getting 4 or 5 foot surf on the reef. So there's a really nice option for both. So that's the surfing, and then that's just in this bay right here. Because of our coastline is so broken up, we can actually have, there's lots of little bays and intricate little areas and reef. So by moving around even 15 kilometers north or south, you have a huge range of breaks, from heavy slabs to nice soft beginner breaks. So for pretty much all the surfer, there's nearly a wave at some stage every day, which is brilliant. And it's not traveling far, it's only 15, 20 kilometers at maximum. As far as the other activities go then, like the rock climbing, the Burren is famous because it's a very famous limestone region, and limestone is great for climbing on. So we have some fantastic sea cliffs that the waves break right down onto the bottom of them, and we can climb them or abseil down and climb back up. We have about 400, 500 different routes. On days like this, it's gorgeous. Obviously, you have to be realistic about Irish weather. It can be wet, it can be a bit exposed, which can make it a bit trickier for the rock climbing. But we also have spots over on the other side of the Burren which are less exposed. So again, we take the high-end climber, but we also take a lot of beginners. Like, I'm very much about teaching beginners and getting them going on all levels. So people have to have no experience, no physical fitness as such. Obviously it helps, but you don't need to be that super athlete. We're trying to make it accessible to everybody, really.
So what about those people like me who may have a massive fear of heights? And you said abseiling down a cliff with the ocean beneath you, and I think my heart might have stopped. How high are these cliffs?
I get that, but you've got other options, you know, and that's like the extreme end. So we've got a lovely little cliff called Ballyreen. You can look it up on Google Maps and get some nice pictures. It's right on the roadside. It's about 35 feet, which is what? That's about 12, 13 meters. And we also have an indoor climbing wall where you can get some skills. I find a lot of people aren't really afraid of heights. They think they are. And
no, I'm afraid of falling is what it is.
You see, that's the thing. Okay, that's a different story. So if you get to learn to trust the rope and realize that all the safety equipment does everything and that you can't fall, well, then your fear is subdued and you might be able to achieve it. So a lot of people come to me and go, I'm afraid of heights. And it's because I was on a wobbly ladder once. They go, well, you don't like wobbly ladders. It's not heights you're afraid of. Do you know what I mean? So we find with a lot of people, I love teaching rock climbing because you can really take people who come in very nervous, and halfway through the day, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm after climbing that and that and that and this, and I'm on a rope and I'm jumping around, and they've completely changed. And you can see it in like literally a 2-hour session or an all-day session where they've fully changed and they've gone much further than they ever thought they could. And that's why I love teaching it.
That's outstanding. I'll be back, God willing, I will be back in September, and maybe I'll have to plan a little break and see if you can get me to climb something.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. And like, you start off easy. Like my 5-year-old, she goes up about 4 or 5 feet and comes back down, and she's happy. And I'm like, okay, well done, you've climbed, you know. And she'll do that 10 times, and I know as she develops, she'll do a bit more. So there's never any pressure. You know, no one's going to be giving out to you or anything. It's about trying to enjoy it and try something new.
You know, and I think that you just said something that's really important. It's just about trying it and enjoying it. I know we've discussed this with in terms of surfing, because a lot of people are nervous of trying surfing. And I like the fact that with everything you do, there's no pressure. There's no push to to go beyond your limit. It just really is all about trying it and enjoying it and having fun.
Exactly. And people's perceptions before they arrive can be quite high. Do you know what I mean? So for example, when we do our surf lesson, people have this perception of you're going to jump on your board, you're going to paddle out to the biggest waves, someone's going to give you a big push and you're going to go flying down a huge wave. That's not how we start. You start in nice easy waves, you lie on your belly, you get comfortable with your equipment, with the board, and then you develop. And obviously everybody develops at a different pace. So somebody might be like, yeah, look, I've done that, let's go. And you go, fine. And somebody else might go, this is me. I'm happy, I'm loving the ocean, I'm doing this. And you go, well, fine. So I think that's the job of the instructor, to be very clued into the person. And we tend to do quite small groups for that reason, so that you can actually adapt to the person rather than working off a formula or off a schedule or something. So again, if you're happy doing one level, well, do that. And then if you want to try a little bit more, we'll help you do that too,
I love that. So what are you keeping busy with now other than your 5 hours a day of surfing? Are there any improvements going on within the business, or are you just kind of laying out plans for how things are going to progress once you're allowed to open again this year?
Well, yeah, a couple of things, I suppose. Normally we would we stay open all year round, but obviously we're a lot quieter in the winter time, because the weather can hamper us, and obviously people have a perception that it's cold, which it is, but you wear the right gear. So we're much quieter in the winter. So we generally do our maintenance and kind of our step up for next year. And this year, between a couple of things, February we had the worst storms, consistent storms we've ever had. So we had quite a quiet year outside. So we did a lot of work inside. So what we've developed is new changing areas. We've developed it's nearly finished, a new video analysis room. So I do quite a lot of high-end coaching. So we have an area for teaching basically theory classes, which might be down to doing wave forecasting, or like I said, some video where we video people in the group and we bring them in, and not just kind of like your tourist, oh look, here's a picture, kind of work on how you can do this better, and here's where you can go next, and so on. So we made that kind of an area. We've developed our climbing wall. We have a big indoor climbing wall. So we've added on an extra, well, big in terms of Ireland. Sorry, I have to be careful. It's big for a little village in Ireland. So we've developed that, and we're also working on, I've outdoor archery range going in this summer. So we're working on a shelter and stuff. So now that I'm on my own, normally we'd have some lessons and 3 or 4 guys kind of working at the moment. Midweek, it's just me, so I'm kind of tipping along at that on my own, which is daunting when you're on your own.
I imagine the project looks a lot bigger when you're on it solo.
Yeah, exactly. When there's 3 or 4 guys, we kind of get through it. So that's kind of where we're going. And then we're kind of, we're really waiting to see what happens. The biggest problem, which I presume is for everybody, is we just don't have an end date, so that we can kind of know we can get back into it. Normally we would be looking at having all our full-time staff on by next 2 weeks, and we would have school tours. So we would get a lot of kind of end of school term school tours, primary school kids who would come and surf and climb and do archery, and that's all gone, obviously. So we kind of really don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
But what you do know, and you were teasing me with, was the absolutely beautiful day outside. And I think you said you might try to walk us outside and get a view of what it looks like right now, the beach and the ocean and the promenade. So let's give that a shot.
Let's do that. I'll give it a go. So I'm going to change my hand so I don't cut you off. But what I'm in the surf shop at the moment.
And if you want to do a little tour of the shop, that would be great too.
We do a little surf shop. We have our own surf gear, and we sell wetsuits and so on, obviously, and some boards. And then we walk in here. Sorry, I have to get used to the light. And I'm not a cameraman, This is our
All right.
climbing wall area.
How tall
So this
is the
is what,
climbing wall? It's a decent height.
so it's about 28 feet high. And we have a rope section, which is this section here. And we've just added on where the ladder is there. I'm working on an extra little bouldering area. And then all this area here is bouldering. So we have crash mats underneath, and you can just climb away on that. So we have a little club. We're in a small village, so we don't have a massive population. So we have a little club with juniors and stuff in there. And then this is our surf area. So these would be all our kind of high-end surfboards. We provide all the equipment, our wetsuits and everything like that. This would be our kind of basic beginner boards and long boards and so on. So depending on our beaches. You see that okay, yeah?
Yes, very much so.
And then down that end, we all have nice warm showers and changing rooms. And oh yeah, since you were here last, I'm going to show off now.
Yes, do.
So this is down, we have our changing rooms and stuff here. And then we have a backyard that we are working on. And I have just done a big mural at the back. And what we've tried to do, you can see it, is the history of surfing through a mural. So we have the islands, the Hawaiians, and then we have California in the 60s, and then we have Australia and the shortboarding era. And then on the very end, we got the Irish Cliffs of Moher. If I can you see that? The Cliffs of Moher and Ben Surf Clinic and the Cliffs of Moher and Aliens. So that's one of the lists up.
That's fun.
So we'll go back inside and I'll show you where the surf is. Hopefully my my Wi-Fi doesn't cut out on me, but we'll show
the
you
joys of technology.
Yes, yes, indeed. So back through the surf area. This is our front door, and then we're out into a big car park, which is usually full of cars. So it's very strange to see it empty, usually. And then literally, we just have to walk across the street, and you're going to see some really nice surf. It's a small enough day today, but sun is beaming down, and the surf is really good. So if you're into your surfing, you're going to like this.
Or just a nice little rocky beach.
So we've got some nice
it's beautiful today.
That way. There's a guy on a horse. You still there?
We are, yeah. Can't see the guy on the horse, but I believe you.
He's going to come back up this way in a second. We got a beach break. There's a few families out. And
we've lost the sound. Oh, there you're back.
Coming through and over here, we've got the reef, which on low tide doesn't work so well, but all that rock beside the cliff, that turns into really nice left-handers. So we've got left-hand waves here, right-hand waves here. And it's unusual to see it actually this busy, believe it or not, at the moment. But on a normal day, you'd have quite a few people here.
Oh, it looks like a beautiful day. It looks like a beautiful day. Such a great beach.
It is. That's our place there in the background.
And there you are. Well, Ben, I want to thank you so much for taking a few minutes today to join me here and show everybody what's going on in Lahinch and talk a little bit about everything that you offer. I hope I get to see you get back in September.
Yeah, we definitely will, and hopefully we'll all be out and moving around by then. And you stay safe, and thank you very much for the call.
You as well, Ben. Thanks so much.
Okay, bye now. Be good.